The Chris Moon Show is a comedy and entertainment program. Everything said on this show is meant as a joke and should not be taken seriously. The views and opinions expressed by the hosts or guests are for entertainment purposes only and do not reflect the official stance of any organization, employer, or affiliate. This show may include adult humor, satire, or topics that some listeners could find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. By listening, you agree that The Chris Moon Show, its hosts and affiliates, are not responsible for any actions or interpretations based on the content of this program. If you're easily offended, maybe this isn't your show.
Welcome to the madness! It's the Chris Moon Show! Oh!
Can you smell it? Ah, love is in the air. This is the week of love. Oh my God, are you people ready for it? It's the week of VD and STDs. All around, baby. Mouth hugs, all kinds of greatness. And if you're single, it's all right. We're going to give you pointers on how to find your mi amore. You're going to find your love. We're going to give you the Jimmy Nice tips on how to pick up ladies at the bar. Y'all know you're all excited. I am too. We got so much in store for you guys today. Here we go. All right, here we go. Are we ready? So, let's talk about Valentine's Day as a whole. Valentine's Day is kind of a performance holiday. Like if you're not out there telling the world that you love your significant other or whatnot, or you're not getting the clicks that you need, are you really in a relationship? If you're really not going to a restaurant on Valentine's Day where the service is going to be shitty and you're going to be mad and but you're supposed to be like looking at your partner like, man, this is the greatest thing ever. Like, this is our moment. This is our everything. And you're not supposed to be pissed off that your fucking chicken tenders and fries are running late. And you know that now she's upset and now they're, you're all eating questionable foods and now certain acts are off the table. And like all the things that you were looking forward to are just, you could watch it just disappear in front of your eyes, man. Like you had these like, you were ready, you were ready. This is going to be the night. You got some balloons, some flowers, and you put $75 into this already, man. You in deep. You used to have to put $20 into this and there was more coming to you. And now, we're such a society where social media plays such a big part of your love life. Like it is a big part of it. Like if you don't get recognition, you don't like fake put out this, oh, my mi amore loves me more than life and I couldn't do it, blah blah blah. Why can't you do that on February 1st? Why's it got to be the 14th? You all know why you're doing it, and it's okay. It's okay, but it do understand that it's stupid. And the other part of this is, which is crazy, because you got your stalkers on the other side are watching to see if nothing gets posted. And they're like, oh no, is there some trouble in paradise? What's going on there? Like, is there a room to wiggle in there? Is this the chink in the armor I've been waiting for? There's so much that it has to be the whole performance of the day. Like, it's like Christmas, but with shittier decorations, That's where we're at, And we have to go out to eat, and then it has to be this big fancy ass thing. And I'm gonna tell you what, I'm old, man. I don't have the stamina to stay up late like I used to, man. So we gotta get all this done by at least 10:30, man. Then we gotta have the activities, man. And the whole activities is the fun part we're trying to get to. And because there's supposed to be special activities on Valentine's Day that you're like supposed to like. Each has to give and take, man. I mean, there was money put on the table, baby. We got to do something about this now. We got to make this right, And it's important that we understand, that the internet doesn't isn't the thermometer to rate your love life with. And if you're new in a relationship and this is what you're using to gauge what your future is going to be, or you're gushing overly, like there's too much. Like if you're slapping that fucking mayo on that shitty ass hamburger that you're calling a love life because it ain't very fucking good and you need to put some mayonnaise on it to swallow it, it's noticeable. Like if you overly abundant, there's those dudes, man, that just sing out their little hearts and stuff like that, and then it's obvious that your boy Chris Moon, your boy Jimmy Knives, he got side chick. You talk too much. You talk too much. Because normal people don't talk like that. Normal people don't do shit like that. Normal people don't act that way. You know, normal people who just gush about shit or over godly or this or that are usually the ones you got to fucking watch out for. For that guy, like, is just, you know, some chicks will fall for it, man. But if you got a dude that's just fucking over the top, and like nobody else, and everybody's kind of looking at you like kind of weird that you might want to start looking around to see who the side chick is. You may have went to vacation with her and not even known it. It happens, man. You know, Valentine's Day isn't the thermometer that you should use to gauge where your relationship is. If that's your barometer of said relationship and where said relationship's going, man, you're an internet dummy. You know? All right, Jim, this candle smells like a truck stop and an old dude trying to make a baby. This got to go. This is horrible. This is horrible, Jim. This got to go. Oh, shit.
That. There you go, Chris Moon.
That's better. That's better. Thank you, my good man.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good year. Smell the energy. Smells like love. All right. Ooh. So, I'll give you advice from a man who's been married for almost 30 years on dating that I watched my boy Jimmy Knives use. So, let's just start with the basics. First of all, you're going to need the internet. So, I hope you have the internet, because if you're not, I don't know how you watch my show if you don't have the internet. Second of all, you need to be truthful. You need to take good pictures. Don't be a liar. Don't put a three-piece suit on and try to pretend like you're a banker when we're both jobless. So don't do that. So put on your real clothes. Look like who you're supposed to when you're going to walk into the bar. So once you get this, you can talk to some ladies and fill them out. You know, you can meet up somewhere, or you can go in blind. And by blind, I mean like you don't know what the room's going to have in it. If you go in with this method, key is no expectations. Don't have like this built up girl in your head, what you're looking for in a mate. This is smash and grab. This is what this is. This is not about finding your mi amore, your love. This is talking about, you know, just the basics, man. And if it turns into something else, awesome for you. Because I've seen this work for people around Jimmy after he got done with a few of them. You know, it worked great for them. You know, they wasn't for Jim, but it was for them. You know, that's what we always say around. It wasn't for Jim, but it was for them. We say it quite a bit around here. So you walk in, you rate the room. You're going to find your 10. And she may be a 4 outside that room, but she's your 10 tonight. You know, and that's what you're looking for, you know. So you strike up a conversation, you know. One of my boys' key things is ask her about the weirdest thing she's ever done. And if she's willing to talk about that, she's willing to do some other things that you might be interested in. You know, this, again, isn't about a job interview style thing. Be loose. And be carefree, because don't be aggressive like you have to slam this door, like you're not going home and jerking off tonight kind of feel. You're just going there and you're working your magic, you know. And if you strike out and you go home and you jerk off, that's what happens that night. But you're trying to get this down to a science where you can feel like, I know my mojo, I know where I need to hit my marks, and then you'll start doing better. Little by little, you'll get to that point where your numbers are rising. And if that's what you're looking for. Now, let's go the other way. If you're looking for the one, the one you want to take home to meet everybody. Jimmy takes everybody home to meet everybody. That's a problem with him. His mom has a field day with fucking just like, oh my God, what the hell's that, man? She looks older than shit. Oh man. His mom has some of the best fucking, like, she could slam dunk you like no other. She could body slam you like Hulk Hogan on Andre the Giant, and you won't see it coming. And that's the risk you take, taking these people that you were just supposed to be a smash and grab at home. I think Jimmy likes it, so therefore it's just part of his routine and dance. He needs a laugh, and sometimes it's at your expense. I can't help you. But if you're looking for the one, first of all, a bar isn't going to be there. I think you just need to go out and feel out what you're looking for. Let's move that expectations down, but you have to have boundaries. Setting your boundaries. If you find somebody, again, if you find somebody will snatch your phone, do all that crazy shit, and you're really into that crazy drama, that might be your one. If you like that energy, that where somebody might get fucking jacked in the fucking jaw at any moment, and that's your cup of tea, because afterwards the sex is fucking great, man, see, I don't know where to tell you to go. The internet is open to everybody. It may be a dude. It may be a chick. Who knows? It could be some proverb from somewhere else. I don't know. But you're running that risk. And that's part of the fun too. So if you're looking for the one, let me think. I say the grocery store. The grocery store is where you see people in their truest element. You'll see them wearing whatever they don't give a fuck about. And they'll just, you can rate them on their cart. See what's in that cart, man. If there's some fungal cream, some other stuff, or you look and there's some dude stuff in there, and she says she ain't got a dude. Either she is a dude or she got a dude. There's just certain things you look at that and you're like, what's going on there? She got a pack of hot dogs. Something going on there. So it's a tough world these days in the date market because I have no clue about any of it. I hope you all have better luck. I hope this little gems, I give you little gems here and there that will get you there. On to the next topic.
I can't find the button.
So, we're coming up to Valentine's Day. To Bush or not Bush? That is the question. So, I don't know, man. Growing up, we were told that Bush was bad. Get rid of it. It's got to be smooth, got to be well maintained, maybe a lightning strip, maybe whatever, But you don't want to ask anybody to go down there and fit around your wares if it looks like Sasquatch. If it's already confusing enough, women. It already is. Don't add another layer of like mystery that I gotta figure out where something is. I'm all fumbles any fucking way. So let's don't get too crazy with the designs. Fellas, as a heavyset guy, I have risked it all to trim it all. I have put a foot on a tub, foot on a toilet, stood in the mirror, and went to town, and I hope I didn't slip. Or that toilet didn't fucking shatter. It's a hell of a way to be found dead. You're trying to just, keep the area good, and you get smashed in the bad way. All the furnace is on, Jim.
God damn it.
Oh, we're good. Let it go. If you hear a little noise, it's us not being code. I don't want to be code.
No, I got it. Just keep going. We're going to use this take. Just because you admitted you didn't know where the clip was, which is hilarious.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, man. Truthfully. In my notes here, I said it. I got, is full bald the new norm? Do we overcorrect? When did grooming turn into
Are we throwing this one
landscaping?
out and starting over again?
Nah, we're good. So I'm not sure what the acceptable amount of hair is. I figure you got to have the area available and sight worthy. You don't want it to be like jarring and like a mystery. You know, you don't want to ask anybody to mess around with your twigs and berries if your berries and twigs are like got this steel wool covering them. You know, and also, fellas, trim it back. It makes it look a little bigger. It's a plus for you. It is a good hygiene. You know, ladies, we don't want lint in it. Same for you fellas. No lint. Keep it good. Keep it where everything can do anything at any moment. You want to be open to all options. You don't want to have to limit yourself because there's just too much that's going to get in the way. And so I'm not sure what the correct amount is. It's your preference. What you enjoy and what you don't enjoy. Some people are freaked out with it being totally gone. Some people, that's their like, you know. I get both sides of the coin. Do your best. Shave a couple days in advance. That way if you nick yourself, it ain't as creepy. Let's go Valentine's Day, Saturday. Thursday's maintenance day. The latest day. You don't want to go any further than that. Because if you nick yourself or you get bumps, now people think you got herpes and all this stuff. You got shaving bumps and whatnot. Now the whole moment's ruined. There's questions going to have to be asked. And now we're going to have to get out the plastics and all this stuff. And it's just going to get weird. So Thursday is grooming day, people. Let's get it done. On to the next topic. All right. Here on the Chris Moon Show, we like to give you a little bit of education about why some things are the way they are. So let's talk about the chemical structure of love in your brain. The dopamines, the serotonin, oxycodones, or whatever, cotton, whatever. I already forgot what it is. You know, but it's all about addiction and the beginning of love. You're addicted to that person. You think about them nonstop. You hear songs, you think of them. It's just so powerful, so strong. It's just so great, and it's a great feeling. It's a rush, it's excitement. But I'm gonna tell you what, it's just your brain lying to you. It's all it is. It's a big lie. It is a biological lie to procreate. That's what it is trying to get you to do, to further the species. And that's what all love is about in the beginning. Now, if you can stay with this person and the high wears off and you can trudge through the trenches and you still find things daily you like about the person more than you dislike, because there's going to be things you dislike about the person. I'm going to tell you what, the first thing I realized when I was in a long-term relationship is after a month, she wasn't going home. She was home. And that was like, oh shit, you know, there you lose, your space becomes smaller. Your life becomes intertwined and all that stuff. So back to where we was talking about before, if you got one of those girls that likes to look at everything and think every woman's trying to fuck you, this is going to be a wild ride for you. You may get hit a few times and then vice versa. You know, it's going to be destructive and violent for a while. It's going to be bumpy, you know, because you're chasing that rush that was at the beginning of the relationship, the hot, passionate, you know, let's do it all the time and all that good fun stuff. And now it is just the trudge in the trenches, man. You did the day to day, you know, and the thing you're going to argue about and talk about more than anything you ever thought you would talk about in your whole fucking life. What's for dinner? You're going to hear that more than you fucking ever thought you would ever have a conversation about what the fuck's for dinner. You will miss the time where you just fucking made a sandwich and you didn't have to have a goddamn meeting about it and talk about what was going to be on said sandwich and who didn't like what's on said sandwich when you start procreating and adding little monsters to your crew. And everybody doesn't like ketchup or everybody don't like mustard. One wants real mayonnaise, one wants Miracle Whip. Miracle Whip ain't mayo, by the way. It's a tangy zip of a salad dressing is what it is. It is not mayonnaise. So don't be super white and call it mayonnaise, okay? Let's just go ahead and do that. It's zippy. It's okay. And I grew up on it because my mom's a basic bitch. They thought only super white Miracle Whip could be allowed in my house. And I remember there being arguments in my house. See, we're arguing about fucking mayo. This is what a relationship's about. I've seen people, my grandparents argue about what Lou Alcindor's name was, and it was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and they went and got encyclopedias from the 60s to look it up. It wasn't there. But you know what you can use those encyclopedias for? You can smack each other upside the fucking head with them. And that's exactly what they fucking did. This is before you had more than 3 channels on the TV. And then you had to watch Hee Haw. I'll never forget watching Hee Haw and Charlie Pride walked out there. And my grandma didn't pay attention to Charlie Pride. If you didn't know, it's a black gentleman that sounds like a country white man singer. And she was heated that this black man was on her TV singing her country music. Had she just looked at the goddamn 8-track, he was on it. But I guess that was, she assumed. And when you assume, you make asses out of me and you kind of deal, But, that was the kind of relationship that I had to base off what mine was going to be. My parents were very distant people. They could, my dad slept in one room, my mom slept in another room kind of relationship, I ain't having that kind of relationship. That shit happens, I'm the fuck out. That ain't happening. I don't give a shit. We gonna suffer together. I have a CPAP on and she snores. We're gonna suffer together. That's just the way it is. That's the way a relationship is. You can't start dividing and picking rooms and stuff like that. You might as well get a divorce then. Now you're just divorced for benefits is what you are. You all now drawing territories up in your house. And that's just weird shit, because nobody knows what's going on there. And it's the optics of the whole situation is weird. It ain't really a relationship anymore. You're all just like roommates at that point. And where the hell's the fun in that? I don't want a roommate, There's no fun in that, it's weird. I don't know how to address it. I already forgot what this topic is about. I've lost my train of thought. On to the next one. So, let's play devil's advocate. This topic is going to be about, is it better to be single on Valentine's Day or is it to be in a relationship? Let's take the single side first. The single side is going to be like, I don't have to buy nobody nothing. I don't have to pretend. I don't have to make no pose. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. And then you'll make posts about how you don't have to do this. So you're still making posts. Like you're still out there just being the same as the couple people. You're just trying to sell your end of this performance of Valentine's Day. You're trying to sell that your brand is better than their brand. And you would join the other brand in a heartbeat because you know what the other brand's at the end of the day, what's going to happen. You know what's going to be at the end of your night? A whole lot of you being with you. And that's all right too. You don't have to, just because it's a commercial holiday that's been made up for you, you don't have to fall for the trap. But you don't have to be an asshole about it either and pretend like you're so fucking, like your life's so rosy and red and great, because that's what the couple side's going to do. They're going to sell you on it's the best day ever to be in a relationship. Oh, my boo got me this and this and this and he spent X amount and we went somewhere. Here's the thing. This one always kind of bothered me as a poor person because this is a poor community. These people would go over the top, get a cabin. They've already blown their tax money. This is where this comes from. They're tax rich. And that's we'll cover the tax rich later down the road. That's a real big subject that Chris Moon really wants to dive into. But for today, we're going to scrape across it. And they'll be doing all this stuff, spending all this money, and they'll talk about all these trips and post all these pictures. Then a couple weeks down, you'll see a GoFundMe. They didn't have enough to pay rent. They didn't have enough to... Your car's, oh, my luck's so bad, my car got towed, got repoed. Well, no shit, because you took your money that you're supposed to do real world shit with to try to get the same stuff you're going to get at a different price. You made a fool of yourself. You tried to sell this Hollywood relationship and put the sparkles on a fucking Buick that the tires are going flat. Don't do that. Don't do that. Stay in your lane. Stay in your price range. I get making memories and stuff like that. Go to Patoka Lake. Get a cabin. Go somewhere close. Don't go to Tennessee and act like you got Tennessee money. You don't have Tennessee money. You and I both know it. Jobs are scarce right now. A lot of people losing their job. A lot of bad shit going on. We're all on the chopping block. Go ahead and get you some Spam. Fry that up. Make her a good Spam sandwich, man. Maybe you go to Olive Garden. Olive Garden's okay. You don't have to go to Ruth Chris. I've never been there. There probably will be. But I don't have to go to these name brand places. I'll cook something at home and I'll save myself some money. Because all it's going to be is indigestion in the long run. What's the price going to be? That's the thing, man. You got to remember to stay in your lane. Be it single or a couple. If she demands these high dollar, grandiose adventures and stuff like that, and you have a paper thin salary, paper thin bank account, a Roth 401k, not that much. Man, it ain't in your range, and maybe she ain't your girl that you need. If you got to buy her happiness all the time, that shit's only going to go up, and the quality going to go down. And then you're going to be sad about it. You're going to be mad about it. And then you're going to wonder what's going on. Then you're going to start looking around. And guess what? It's going to cost you a lot more money. So let's do the wise thing. Everybody, say it together. Budget. Let's have a budget relationship. It's a give and take. We go here because we both know we can't go here and have lights. And I really like lights. I really like hot water. I enjoy it, man. There's nothing more satisfying than flipping that switch and that light coming on, motherfucker. We can sit and watch Netflix. It's $7.99 a month. That shit ain't free. All these streaming services, man, you can find things to be together and enjoy. Find that person that wants to do the things you like. Don't be that motherfucker that has to be going out all the time, that you have to be entertained. Because if I have to entertain you all the time, I'm not enough for you. I'm not enough for you. You said it right there. You have to be around other people. You have to be around excitement. I'm not enough. I can't make your day without spending $300-$400 that tell you I love you. Then it's a transactional relationship. And that's the worst type of transactional thing to be in. You don't want to be in a relationship where it's like, if I give you this, you got to give me that. You don't want to get into that one because both of you are going to go fucking broke. Because sooner or later, he's going to be spent out or all your moves are played out. You done gave everything up. You have nothing left to offer and the bar's closed. And then what are you going to do then? Because somebody's still going, because one side's still going to want. So he may have some change left and you may have some wants left. What are we going to do? And it ain't going to work. And then now what are we going to do? Now we done made a life together. We got kids and we got all these bills and stuff like that. And divorces ain't cheap. So you need to think out your steps. You have to, back off all that fucking chemical love shit. Back it off. Think logically, think about the whole picture. If it's gonna be the buy services, there's people for that. And I'm gonna tell you what, you could probably get better return rates. You could probably get way more than what you're buying now. And that's not to offend anybody. That's factual. If you want to be in a transactional relationship where you're tick for tat, you are a person that is taking stuff for something. You're not just being there for the love. You're not being there for the closeness and all the good things that go in being with somebody. You're there for fucking something. And that something now is everywhere. I don't want you all get this confused. There's this belief that is finite and whatnot. That love is this pure thing and that. No, it's not. If you've been around on this earth long enough to know, there's different forms of love. And it can be bought. It can. I've seen it. I've seen people, and it ain't just sexual stuff, people. It ain't that. I've seen motherfuckers be happy with spending money on their car, way happier than they ever been with any woman they've ever been with. They went or they bought a house and they're like, it's the greatest thing ever, And there's things in this world that bring joy to people outside of you. And if you're a transactional person that feels like you have to be paid to be close to somebody, well, then you know what you are. And don't get your goddamn feelings hurt, On to the next topic. So, this is going to be the weekend for proposals. It's right there with Christmas. Don't fucking do it. Don't do it. It's fucking taking everybody around you public hostages. We're all on pins and needles fucking wondering if this is going to go sideways. And it usually goes sideways. And you're only doing it to fucking pressure the person because you know there might be a no. There might not be that yes. There may not be that Hallmark fucking ending. Don't you fucking do it. Don't you fucking take a day that's already something and try to make it yours. It's already something, motherfucker. It already is Valentine's Day. It doesn't need to be the day you asked the question for you to be with me forever. Bitch, you could do that on a Tuesday, February fucking 12th. You don't have to fucking do it on the 14th. Get for fucking real. Don't be that cunt. Don't be that motherfucker that takes her to her favorite restaurant and ruins it. You're gonna ruin her favorite restaurant, asshole. You know, because fucking divorce rates are high, motherfucker. Don't fuck things up. Don't be that motherfucker that takes people fucking hostage in your fucking crisis. Because you're having a crisis that you gotta, you're not man enough. When I asked my wife to marry me, I did it with just me and her by our fucking selves. If it went sideways, it was fucking on me. That was it. I wasn't going to ruin anything else in the rest, like her favorite restaurant, her favorite food or flower or nothing like that. I wasn't going to make this a traumatic event where now every time she sees a purple flower, she cries because some dickhead fucking like held her hostage in front of like a group of people and was like on his knee, will you marry me? Bitch, you already know. If you ain't had a conversation about making your life go as one, don't fucking do it. It isn't romantic. It isn't fucking this grand gesture. It is a fucking form of public humiliation that she's trying to avoid. She likes you, man. She gets naked with you. She does stuff with you. You're going to put her on a pedestal in front of people, and the chances are maybe she don't feel like she's ready to go that next step, and everybody's going to be fucking crushed. And everybody's going to feel fucking awkward because you fucking swung for the fucking fences with your baby dick and you couldn't get it over the plate. Like, you know if you can get it over the plate. Motherfuckers know when they can really hit a home run. They know. You know when you can seal the fucking deal. And if you can't read the room, shut the fuck up. Stay the fuck off your fucking knee. Don't fucking burden us with your fucking sadness. We don't want to sit there and see that. Then there's just nothing but hurt feelings and anger, and you're probably going to do something stupid, and you're probably going to get the shit kicked out of you by somebody there because you made them feel awkward that you did something, and now there's all this microaggression in the room, and shit's going to go sideways because you did something so fucking stupid because you're a pussy. You hear me? You're a pussy. Because you needed people around to support your pussy ass that you couldn't just ask somebody to marry him. I know Jim's asked like 6 women to marry him and he's never did it in a fucking restaurant, not one fucking time. You did it in a restaurant, Jim? Oh my God, Jim, no. What restaurant, Jim?
It was on St. Patrick's Day, dude.
Oh, Jim.
It's not Valentine's Day.
Jim.
It was in front of
Man. Well, did she say yes?
She said yeah.
Well, I mean,
obviously we didn't get
at least he got a yes. He did read the room and he had that slam dunk, so that was all right. So he read the room and knew it wasn't a questionable question. He knew that she was going to say yes. I do know that much. But if you have any doubts in your head, don't do it. Don't fucking be that person, you know? Don't. And also, you better buy a decent ring if you're going to do it in public. You better have fucking something nice where people will be like, oh, she's missing out if she says no. Like, you pop and there's a big-ass rock there and the other women. See, now you're filling the room out. We're back to the steps of the dating because you're going to be dating soon. And somebody knows you got money because there's a nice rock there. And some women are into that. Maybe you find a new Mrs. whatever the hell. She's in that room. It just isn't her. Maybe she's not the one for you, and maybe she's not the end, but the end for you and the beginning for another one, just because she saw the ring. So, but I advise you, and please, don't fucking do it. It is stupid. It's right there where you fucking motherfuckers want to fuck up Christmas and be like, we got engaged on Christmas. We blah blah. That is like it's already Jesus' day, man. Quit doing it. Valentine's Day. That isn't your day. You can have the 13th. You can have the 15th. There's fucking 27 other fucking days in February. 28. I don't know. Fucking pick fucking one of them. Pick a different day, motherfucker. There's 365 days, and probably 12 of them are fucking somebody else's already. So why don't you get your lazy ass up and pick one that ain't fucking something already important to somebody, and don't do it in public. Don't be a fucking grandstander. Because the only reason you do it is, again, you're scared you're gonna get told no. Because if you were alone, she's probably told you alone, no, I'm not ready. And so now you're going to apply the clamps to her, and you're going to apply pressure. So if she says yes, and she has doubts, and then you all do the song and dance, and her family, your family, blah, 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 and you get to the date, and the bitch skips out on you. God damn, dude, that's a lot of fucking money. What do you just blew for fucking being an asshole? That's all it boils down. You as an asshole, and you just cost everybody lots of money, and everybody had to ask off work and reserve this day, and blah, 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 and you fucked everybody over because you was a bitch. Don't ask nobody on Valentine's Day to fucking marry you. Don't propose on Valentine's Day. Don't be that cunt. On to the next one.
In my defense, the Chris Moon Show was not here to call me a pussy to stop me from doing it. So, if we could retroactively go back in time, you could have saved me on St. Patrick's Day.
So, what's your love language? I'm a physical person. That's just who I am. I'm a touchy-feely kind of person. Love language is supposed to be like positive statements, affirmations, so building your loved one up, and not with a backhanded comment. And God knows, that's hard not to do because I'm a sarcastic asshole, and we always say stupid shit. Like, me and my wife, we fucking would talk. She'd be like, you know what I heard about you today? I'd be like, what's that? She goes, use a bitch. Shit like that. That's our love language. We say stupid shit to each other and stuff like that. Don't be the asshole that thinks it's funny to say, oh, who's calling, your girlfriend? That shit ain't funny, motherfucker. That shit ain't funny. Don't do that. Don't be the asshole that takes something that was a bad moment and try to fucking flip it around and use it as a backhanded compliment. God knows it fucking took me a long time to learn that. And also, if you're an asshole and you feel like that's a personal challenge, because I did at one point, took it as a fucking, like, you say something fucked up, I gotta say something more fucked up. Eventually, it kind of catches up to you. There will be a fucking public recourse for fucking your goddamn actions that you say and do. So therefore, you gotta be careful what you're doing. Try to be positive. Don't use like Valentine's Day as an excuse. I don't celebrate Valentine's Day because everybody else does. Look, you just don't want to buy shit, and I get it. I don't like Valentine's Day that much. But if somebody does and it is important to them, Jim bought this stuff, and I think he's probably out like $7. $7, man, and to make somebody happy. Get a card, write something. Get a card and actually write something in it. Don't be a cunt that just gets a card and signs your name to it. Like the card says it all. Then you just wanting a blowjob. That's all that card is telling somebody. You're just doing the bare minimum to try to get in to get something. Then you're going to be sad when you don't get it because you did the bare fucking minimum. Man, put some thought into it, man. Like, you actually know the person. Do some work, And the same thing, if your language is different than your partner's, mix it up that day, You be a hugger for once and do the things that they like, It is supposed to be a day of love, supposed to be a day of respecting each other and whatnot. So it's a give and take. So let's just both give that day, and then both of us will be happy because we'll both get what we want, And it's a weird thing to do, dynamic from like day to day, because most people in a relationship is just trying to survive the 24 hours a day of the work, bills, goals for you got set, stuff with your kids, blah blah blah. The water gets muddy real fast, it really does. So this day you're supposed to set it aside and brush all that shit off. it's really hard to do, because that shit is real world consequences. You don't do X, Y, and Z, somebody's going to fucking be on the street, and you don't want to be on the fucking street. Been there, done that, that ain't fun. So therefore, to juggle being an adult and trying to give a fairy tale moment, it's really hard to do because, there's a lot that's going on in people's day. So you may not get the Valentine's Day you want, but you may get the February 15th you want. So it doesn't, if you're putting all the pressure on one day to be this grand event, you're setting yourself up for failure. That it's gonna go sideways. Nothing's ever gonna be. But if you go into a day and it's a day and let it go, let it ride, let it do what it do, you will have a great day and it'll be way better. On to the next one.
This one was $1.50, $1.50, $1.50, $1.25, and then I won the animal out of the crane game. That fucking Red Bull that you're drinking costs more than all that shit.
Right. So, let me loosen up here. Let me talk to you. Let me slip the tie off. Get back to my normalness. Because I'm fat and I'm hot. I'll just tell you right up. All right. So, Valentine's Day comes. Let's do our very best. Let's go swing for the fences. And if you fucking miss, you miss. Don't ask somebody to marry you. Treat it as, a day that you just want to have fun with. Like you just want to go to an amusement park, you want to ride all the rides and do all the fun things, eat cotton candy, just be the most upbeat person you can be. You want to be on a sugar high from hell. You want to focus on all the good shit. You want to go see in the fun house mirrors. You want to ride every ride that this park absolutely has. And I get the metaphor. I wasn't intentionally doing it, but now I catch where I'm going with this a little bit. And that's just how my brain works, I guess. I didn't mean to, but we're here. But you just want to go in and have the best day you can and make the most out of what you got. Don't go in with crazy, unreal expectations. And if you have to be wine and dine at a fancy restaurant and your husband is a blue-collar worker who treasures through mud all fucking day, grease underneath his nails, and you don't realize the person you're married to, that ain't their cup of tea. And you want to judge him because he spends money on tools or a car part. He will spend that money on a car part before he takes you somewhere fancy. Honey, you knew who he was when you got him. And dude, if your chick likes to go get her nails done and all that shit, and you knew it when you got with her, that was her thing, man, give her some money and let her go get her nails done. Let her do whatever the hell she wants. Like, if she wants to go get her feet rubbed on by somebody, let her. Cough up that little bit. But it doesn't have to be this grandiose event where we go to some fancy-ass restaurant and be disappointed with food that it's going to hurt your belly because we like poor people food. We like the brand of Kroger stuff, and we don't know what real good food is. And you're just wasting it. Like, you're just wasting a whole day, a whole paycheck on a moment that wasn't built for you and your significant other. It wasn't made for you. It never was. So why torture yourself on something that wasn't never meant to be? I never understood that, and I guess it's the social media stuff where you can get on there and you tag yourself there and you can tell your girlfriends or your buddies that I did this big thing for my old lady and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to tell you what. Come Tuesday when you're watching your show on the couch with her and you're both underneath the thing passing the snacks and candies back together, that Tuesday going to be way better and you'll remember it way more than that $500 you spent at a shitty-ass restaurant with shitty service because they didn't want you there. They saw your ass coming with those dirty-ass boots and your jacket's got wrinkles in it because you haven't wore it, or like mine. Mine's too little for me, but it's the only jacket I got. So therefore, you look like a jackass, and you're humiliated that you went to this place that you don't belong. You don't belong there. There's nothing wrong with going to Texas Roadhouse. Texas fucking Roadhouse is great. The problem is the Texas Roadhouse, the place can be bumping. Like, that motherfucker is going to be fucking 12, 14, 15 people deep waiting. and you're gonna be again. Then you're gonna be upset that you're sitting there and you're up. The whole thing is gonna get shook up, and somebody's gonna say something, and you're gonna get grumpy. It just isn't gonna be fun. So understand, you need to make this day your day. You need to understand that it's like going to an amusement park. It really is. You're going to be stuck in the line. You are. And how you react to it is going to how the night's going to go. Now, how you react to all the adversity and shit in that day is going to really tell how this day goes. So therefore, if you're not a crowd person, you're not this, you're not that, let's work together to find the perfect scenario where both are happy. And you're not going broke. You don't want to have to be homeless and march and moving when it's raining and the weather's all over the place. Or you don't have enough money to pay your car payment and your car gets repoed. Don't put everything online because it's Valentine's Day. It isn't worth putting your whole life at risk, just because, it's a commercial holiday that somebody made up. I don't even know who came up with it. I guess the gift card people, Hallmark, came up with this holiday. I don't know nothing about the history of the day other than, you got to get some shit. Make an effort. Again, Jim told you, $1.25. The most expensive thing on this table is this wine glass and Red Bull. That's it. And they're probably $2.50 a piece. You can make magic if you try. It's the effort you put into it. So if you put a little effort into it and you don't get what you want, it's on you. If you put a whole lot of effort into it and then you go way over top and there's a happy medium. You're only going to get that endorphin and dopamine and all that amount. You know the amount you're going to get. You know the high you're going to get. You know the quality you're going to get. So let's just price that right into the whole day. Let's budget together. Let's do the best we can. Love one another. See you next week on Chris Moon Show. The hell, Jim? Got me
You've been riding the madness. That's the Chris Moon Show. Hey! You've been riding the madness. That's the Chris Moon Show. 2 for 2, tell me once, do. Talk's been wild, laughs been loud. The truth got messy and the moon stood proud. From deep thoughts to nonsense flow, that's how it goes on the Chris Moon Show. It's the Chris Moon Show. Yeah, you already know. Let's go. He'll be back again to steal the show. It's the Chris Moon Show. Good night. Stay loud, stay real. See you next time on the Chris Moon Show. Just go. Just go. Try media.